It is time to tackle the next item on our programming to-do list. Read the value of the slider after the user presses the Hit Me button. Before we start working on this, I want to tell you about a very important data type that you'll use in your iOS app: strings. To create a string in Swift, you simply surround some text by some quotes. Now, behind the scenes, strings are just a sequence of characters. You can imagine them as a bunch of characters hanging on a piece of string, like you see here. Strings in Swift have a cool feature called string interpolation. That's just a fancy way of saying that you can put placeholder values inside strings that are replaced dynamically by code when your app runs. Imagine you have a string where you want to put a dynamic value inside at runtime. For example, maybe you want to say hello and then the name of the user that's using the app. To do this, whenever you want a value to appear in your string, you put a backslash, 2 parentheses, and inside the parentheses, you put the code that evaluates to the value that you want to display. For example, if you have a value called name set to Ray, at runtime the string will become hello Ray. Let's try this out by making our app print out the value of the slider inside the string. All right, so what we want to do is we want to print out the current value of the slider inside this message here instead of, this is my first pop-up, we want to say the slider's value is, and then put in the slider value. So remember, the way we can do this with strings is with string interpolation, and the way that works is we put a backslash and 2 parentheses. And inside these parentheses, we can put some code that evaluates to a value. So in other words, we can put self.slider value, and what this does is it takes whatever the slider value is and puts it into that string. I'm just going to put, to make it a sentence with a period, I'll put a period after the end of that. And let's try this out. I'm going to do Command R to run it. And I'm going to type hit me, and it says the slider's value is 50 point, a lot of zeros. This is great, but this level of precision is pretty annoying. It would be nice to print out this value as a whole number, which is also known as an integer, rather than having all of these decimal points. So how do we fix this? Well, you'll find that out in the next episode.